it.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Haribol. So we relocated to Radhakund, and it's the same sun, the same heat that we were experiencing in Bengal, except the atmosphere is quite different. Now in UP, it's another country, basically. So it's very beautiful. This is closer to the Brijbasi mood here. So we're going to be, as we advertised, approaching Gopi Gita, which means we have to begin from the very beginning, which ultimately is Nityananda, to come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to come to Srimad Bhagavatam, to come to the 31st chapter. So that's what we're going to be scrolling through. But we'll sing a kirtan first. And today is the 6th of April, 2024. Just in case anyone else forgot, just to confirm the date. Okay, Jai, so we'll sing. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gaite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gaite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gaite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Gokula Taruni Mandala Mahite. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gaite. Radhe Jaya. Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Gaite. Damodarati Vardhana Veshe, Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Damodarati Vardhana Veshe, Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Damodarati Vardhana Veshe, Hari Nishkuta Vrinda Vipineshe. Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asko Talazar Shishima Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asko Talazar Shishima Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asko Talazar Shishima Shila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asko Talazar Shishima Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Jai Paramahamsa Bhagavata Shila Gauraki Shila Vaisbhavaji Maharaj Ki Jai Satam Goswami Shila Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Vaishnav Savavam Jagannath Das Bhavaji Maharaj Ki Jai Rasik Siromani Shila Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai Jai Narjan Srinivas Shyamnath Gurutray Ki Jai Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Shivata Bhaganath Shri Jiva Gopal Sarvanath Sat Goswami ki
Jai.
Jai Swarup Damodar Vai Brahmananda Gaur Parsali ki Jai. Namacharya Shalhara Thakur ki Jai. Prem Siko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Anta Dvit Maya Kosamanta Dvit Gautam Dvit Mati Dvit Koladit Liturgi Janati Modan Dvit Buddhali Atmakana Dvit Dam ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Govardhan Vadasabhatmaka Shri Brajalandal ki Jai. Shri Radha Kun Shama Kun Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi Tulsa Devi Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Shrimati Brinda Devi Maharani ki Jai. Shrimati Yoga Maya Kun Vasi Devi Maharani ki Jai. Shri Gopi Shama Mahadevi ki Jai. Sarvati Naganasa Karishina Shri Devi Bhagavan ki Jai. Bhakta Prabha Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra ki Jai. Ketramandal ki Jai. Jai Charidam ki Jai. Jai Sampradaya ki Jai. Jai Acharya ki Jai. Akada Maharaj Shri Chaitanya Ma ki Jai. Shri Keshavji Gauri Ma ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Shri Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Anantakoda Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samata Dattatamanda Gaur Vrinda. Om Adina Chandrandasya Janandala Shalakaya Chakshu Undalitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Pradaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Namaha Priya Sarupe Taita Sarupe Prema Sarupe Sahaja Gurupe Nijana Rupe Prabhuve Gurupe Tamarupe Swadila Sarupe Anapita Chirinchina Kurunava Temokala Samarapaitam Unnatavujvala Samsavakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundarata Divikamba Sajipita Sadavridale Kanare Skuratu Vasachinatanaha Yam Pravajantamana Paityam Apaitiprityam Vaipayano Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putre Kitam Mayatayo Taravabeniristam Savivitam Vivinatushmi Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shiktasya Karmadhitanandamadi Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanam Prindam Namaste Charanam Vajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smadami Radham Madhula Shakasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Varadam Tato Namaste Katir Kapi Tavaivasmi Tavaivasmi Najlam Vaimina Iti Vignaya Radhikam Naimam Chanakikam. And first of all, after millions and millions of Dhamma pronouns, and to Lord speak my beloved Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishna Om Astok Tazli Shishima Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And I'm offering the same again millions and millions of times, and to Lord speak our beloved Nitya Lila Pravishna Om Astok Tazli Shishima Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada. And to all our illustrious Rupa Guru Vargan, and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, my Dhamma pronouns to all. Manchakala Aturubhyascha, Kripas and Divicha, Pratikam Bhakti. So,
Gurudev, your voice is very low. Just change.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol, better? Okay, so this we've got here. So, I want to approach Sri Gopi Gita, which, as we know, is the crest jewel of all expressions of affection and attraction for Sri Krishna. There is really no higher conception than the song of Gopi Gita. There are 5 Gits, but this Gopi Gita stands glorious alone. Is it working? I put 2 on. Not working? Son?
It's asking.
Huh?
Asking actually.
So, in order to come to the Gopi Gita, we must begin at the beginning. Otherwise, we will. Otherwise, we will jump.
You have to be little louder.
Bring it closer. Then I can speak.
Yeah.
Is Sachi or the other end?
There are many.
Many saying it's not sound loud enough. Okay, so we're trying to make the sound louder. I'll try and speak a little bit louder. So, to begin at the beginning ultimately means, where is the original mercy? In whose hands is the original mercy? It's actually with Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu has the treasure. Nityananda Prabhu is going to bring us to Satchidanandam Gaura Hari. Nityananda himself is principally distributing Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti, with Advaita Acharya Prabhu. This is the understanding. When we appreciate in Bengal, Mahaprabhu was in Puri, and he was continuously requesting Nityananda to stay in Bengal and preach Shuddha Bhakti. Advaita Acharya, he calls Brajendranandan Shyam Sundar, or Narayan, because it's described his throne is shaking in Vaikuntha. And they are requesting to purify the atmosphere of the sinful life that was manifesting there at that time, 500 years ago. But Krishna had another desire, and that was to fulfill the completion of his Vrindavan pastimes. Krishna is Leelam Purushottam. He is performing Leela in Vrindavan. And he's not distributing that Leela. How many knew of Krishna's Leelas 5,000 years ago? How many could understand the nature of Parakya, which is actually the very heart of Krishna's unique pastimes 5,000 years ago? Maybe some Siddha Purushas, but hardly anyone could actually understand or know how to serve that Parakya. So Krishna himself had to add that, which he does. 500 years ago. So this is the sequence. Understand, our focus is ultimately Gopi Gita. This is the topic. But in order to become something qualified to reach there, then we have to go through the progression, principally of the teachings of Mahaprabhu. What are Mahaprabhu's teachings? He only gave the Shikshastikam. These were his only direct teachings. But he based all of his activities and his talks on the foundation of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is actually Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He's written this beautiful verse, Aradeyo Bhagavan Vijayasha Tanayas Tatdana Vrindavana Ramya Kachit Upasana Braja Vardur Vagina Vakalvite Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Kumato Nata. This is the Amla Purana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matam Idam Tatradaro Nakaraha. This is the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the teachings of Rupa Goswami are reflected within the principal core teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam is like the juice, it's like the foundation, it's like the backbone of everything. All of the teachings. Why? Because in the Bhagavatam, the crest jewel of the Bhagavatam is the Ras Leela. And how to appreciate that Ras Leela without any deviation, in a completely correct manner. Today, we know, and previously, before Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, between Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there was like 100 years of darkness, we can say, when many Apasiddhantas flourished. because they knew of the Rasa Leela, but the practicing wasn't there. There was no acharyas there to properly illuminate during that 100 years. And then Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur manifested, and he collected all of the teachings in the most sublime, perfect way, and gave us Jaivedama, he gave us Vajrahasi, he gave us all the scriptures. Again, he also accentuated the necessity of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in order to come to the Gopi Gita, we must start at the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Janmadhyasya yatani vyadvikaradas katasheshu abhignatsara tene brahma kridaya adikavaya moyanti yatsuraya teje vari vrindam yata vinmoya yatras shishaja damna svena nirasta kukam satyam paramadimahi. What is this satyam paramadimahi? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gives 5 explanations on the options, we can say, of what is this Satyam Paramadimahi. What is the highest object of meditation in this Srimad Bhagavatam? So the first is the acknowledgement of the power of the Supreme Lord. And we can understand this in the practice of desiring to achieve Brahman realization. The Devas are all on this path. Brihaspati is described as Brahman realized. So if Brihaspati is Brahman realized, then what are all the other Devas? What is their aspiration? They are following Guru, and Brihaspati is the Guru. They don't acknowledge Krishna as that Supreme Lord, like just the example of Indradev. He prostrates himself to have forgiveness for trying to murder all the residents of Braj in the Govardhan Leela. And he says many beautiful prayers. But then a few weeks later, Krishna comes to Swagaloka and says, "Can I have parijat flower?" He says, "No." After he's prostrated himself at Krishna's... So what is the nishta? What is their faith? We should understand this very simply and respectfully. The Devas are our worshipable masters in this realm, no doubt. Nevertheless, we're discussing on the aspect of bhakti, and beyond even Shuddha Bhakti, but actually we're going to come to Braja Bhakti, which is even higher. They're all various stages, degrees of worship, of appreciation of the Lord. So the Satyam Paramadimahi, the first explanation is that God, Krishna, he's not given a form. He's not described in his personal feature. He's just described as a power. They are called Brahmavadis, not Mayavadis. This Bhagavatam doesn't support any Mayavad. It doesn't acknowledge the Mayavad. Mayavad, we know in the second verse, Dharma Projita Kaita Gatra, Paramat Nirmatsaranam Shatan. There is no envy in this Bhagavatam. So there is no Mayavad proclaimed. So that cannot be the Satyam Paramadimahi. But this Brahman realization, this can be acknowledged. Because it's even described that Sukadeva Goswami was in that consciousness, but my Gurudev describes that was only for Leela. He wasn't really ever. Sukadeva was the parrot of Sri Radhika. How can he be a Brahmavadi? But for Leela, just like if you're familiar with Jaivedama, we have Sannyasi Thakur in the beginning. He comes, he's a Brahmagyani, that's who he is. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is making a similarity between the Bhagavatam and Jaivedama. It's the same dynamics of the Brahmagyani coming and hearing this transcendental knowledge and being transformed. So this Satyam Paramadimahi. What is Satyam? Truth. parama, topmost, dimahi to meditate. What shall I meditate on in this Srimad Bhagavatam? So the Brahman is the conception that's offered first. And then after that comes the form of Lord Narayan. This is the second consideration that we can appreciate in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the foundation. It's everything, everything, everything is Bhagavatam. From top to bottom is Bhagavatam. So the second option or explanation that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives is that of Narayan, worshipping Lord Narayan. But we know, if we're familiar with the conclusion of the Bhagavatam, that Lord Narayan, he has 2.5 rasas are being manifested in Vaikuntha. 2.5. Shantaras, Dasyaras, and a little bit of Sakyaras. Basically, Vaikuntha is a glorified liberation place. This is what is the nature of Vaikuntha. It's the most respectable, eternal place, of course. But what is the aspiration to go there? What is it? Salokya, Samipya, Sharsti, Salukya. These 4 liberations. That is the environment of Vaikuntha. And only 2.5 rasas. If we've read Sanatana Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Gopkumar, he goes there. And he has his Gopal mantra. And he wants to go to, ultimately, Vrindavan. But he comes to Vaikuntha. And he wants to dance with Krishna. He's wearing his forest cloth. And they say, no, you put your nice white coat on and your nice white dhoti. And don't sing like that and don't dance like that. You should wear your shirt and tie and be very, respectful here. Don't fool around and be spontaneous. He was not encouraged that way. So he became disheartened, and then Narad Rishi comes and whispers in his ear. And then he goes further, beyond Narayan. So the second conception that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives is this Narayan conception. Yes, we can worship Lord Narayan. It's bona fide, of course. It's correct. The Praman is there throughout the Bhagavatam for the worship of Lord Narayan. There's no problem for that, but it's not the highest that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is of. Understand, who is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? Who is this personality who's giving this explanation? He's that recipient of Mahaprabhu's mercy. What is Mahaprabhu ultimately coming to give? This is what he's come to taste. But he's come to give Swa Bhakti Shriyam. That is Manjari Bhava. That's what he's come to give. So all of our Guru Vargya, every single one of them, they are all Manjaris. All. Everyone. Can you think one not Manjari? They wouldn't be in this line. Rupa Goswami, Rupa Manjari. Sanatana Goswami, Lavanda Manjari. Jiva Goswami, Vilas Manjari. Krishna's Kaviraj, Kasturi Manjari. Srinivas Mani Manjari. Narottam, Champakalata Manjari. Is it? No. Or Vilasa Manjari also. And then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur himself, Vinod Manjari.
Bhakti Siddhanta also Vimala.
Who?
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Jnani Mani Manjari, yes. All. How can they not be Manjari when the message of Mahaprabhu is to give Manjari in this age? You can only receive the Manjari Bij from another Manjari. This is not about Sakhi Bhav. Did Swarup Damodar and Rai Ramananda, did they make their own line to give Sakhi Bhav? No, they didn't. Right? Only the teachings of Mahaprabhu were captured by Rupa Goswami. And Rupa Goswami is distributing throughout to our whole Guru Vargya. We're all looking to Rupa Goswami because he is closest with who? Sri Radhika. And it's Sri Radhika that we want that service of her lotus feet, that bhavalas. This is what we actually want. And this is the heart of the Gopi Gita. But first we have to know the Praman. to become qualified, to even begin to hear really, we can immediately start talking Gopi Gita, but if we don't have the foundation, you're not going to sit there. It's not going to be maintained or sustained. You understand? So the second is Lord Narayan. The second explanation that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is Vinod Manjari, is giving, Lord Narayan. And then the third, do you remember? You studied this. The third is Radha and Krishna. This is the third. Who are they? Now you come to a very personal conception. Now you're coming to Braj. Now we've come to Braj. Now we're understanding the nature of Radha and Krishna. All of this can be understood from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sripad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he has told us that on every single page of Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna's footprint. On every page is Krishna's footprint. And my Gurudev has told us that in every letter is Radhika. Every letter of Srimad Bhagavatam is Radhika. So together, what is Srimad Bhagavatam? It's Radha and Krishna. So this third conception is Radha and Krishna. And then the fourth conception, now it becomes really thick, is meeting and separation. Because this is the dynamic between Radha and Krishna. Everything is around this focus, which is not easy to appreciate. Even though we all chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and the Hare Krishna mantra itself consists of meeting and separation. Hare Krishna, meeting. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, separation. It's there. All of the pastimes, 12 hours of the day are meeting in Braj Leela. 12 hours are Vipralamba. We have Madhyana Leela, full meeting, 5 hours. We have Ratri Leela, 5 hours. We have Nishanta Leela. That's approximately 12 hours of the day. That's intimate meeting I'm talking about. This is when there's no elders around. So that's 12 hours of the day. And then 12 hours a day, that Purvana Leela, Prata Leela, Purvana Leela, Apurvana Leela, Syayan Leela, Poshana Leela, Pradosh Leela. Yes. They're all mixed. Krishna's there, sometimes they go, but not that intimacy that is there in those other, in the Ratri or the Madhyana Leela. So this fourth explanation is meeting and separation. This is the Satyam Paramadimahi of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. You see, if we understand these topics this is all described in the first verse by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He's starting to write his commentaries on the whole 12 cantos, and he starts here to explain what is this Satyam Paramadimahi. What is Vyasadeva writing? Why is he writing like that? We have to understand one other thing. This is Vyasadeva's Mangalacharya. These first 3 verses are Vyasadeva's Mangalacharya. I've heard sometimes speakers, they say that Sukadeva Goswami is saying this. No. Sukadeva Goswami doesn't even appear until the 2nd canto. Actually, till the very last chapter of the 1st canto, the 19th chapter. He doesn't even appear. So how will he speak this invocation verse? Now Sutta Goswami, he's not compiling the Bhagavatam. Vyasadeva is compiling the Bhagavatam. So Vyasadeva is writing. Well, what is he writing? He's writing the fruit of what he received from his guru. You know, in the 7th chapter of the 1st canto, you remember the pastime, 3 chapters about Vyasadeva's despondency. Vyasadeva is in Samyak Ashram on the bank of the Saraswati. He's feeling very unhappy, even though he's written the whole Mahabharata, he's written the Itihasyas, he's compiled the Puranas, etc. So much work he's done, yet his heart is not satisfied. Why? Because he hasn't seen the Vrindavan pastimes. Actually, we should understand that he had already written the first 9 cantos when he was expressing this despondency to Narad, his spiritual master. He'd already written the first 9 cantos, it was there. But then Narad, he gifted him. This is showing us the essence of Guru, who is the embodiment of Nityananda Shakti. That Nityananda Kripa is coming through Guru. Akhanda Guru Mula Tattva. This is Nityananda. So I said at the very beginning that Nityananda is the root. Nityananda is going to connect us to Guru. And then from Guru, we're going to have that direct connection with the Supreme. So Narad, he gifts Vyasadeva, and he sees in that 7th chapter, he sees all of Vrindavan. He sees baby Krishna bound by Mother Yashoda. This is inconceivable. Queen Kunti, she can't understand that. You remember in the 8th chapter is described that Queen Kunti, she's bewildered. How is Mother Yashoda binding my Supreme Lord? How can my Supreme Lord be bound? This aspect of Madhurya is very, very, very rare. And none of us here could understand this at all without the mercy of Sachinandan Gaurahari. And his mercy is attained through the mercy of Nityananda. And that mercy is being distributed through our Guru Bhagya, and the backbone is the Srimad Bhagavatam. The backbone of all the teachings are all embodied within Bhagavatam. This is a fact. And then the 5th explanation, this is most sublime, this breaks the heart. When I first read this, I was just shocked that Bhakti Devi herself, that is the 5th conclusion, that devotion itself is what is going to manifest from the pages of the Bhagavatam. Devotion is the sweetest topic. No connection can manifest without, what's that? Bhakti Mam Abhijananti Yavan Yaschasmi Tapada. Without this devotion, you cannot come to Krishna. Without this constant devotion, you cannot come to Krishna. So this devotion, and how do we reach that subtle aspect of devotion? We have sadhan bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prem. Kleshagni shubhada is sadhan bhakti, when the kleshas, the sufferings are purified. Klesh agni, burnt, incinerated. And then shubhada, it comes auspicious. Everything becomes very sweet. And with that qualification, we can access Bhav Bhakti. Without having our sight on Bhav Bhakti, our sadhan Bhakti is absolutely zero. Less than a robot. I'm jibber jabber, not thinking where I'm going, what I'm doing. Just going to the temple, bowing down. Yes, I hope Krishna sees me. I get some special points. You know, some punya. This is not really, this is not what Mahaprabhu has come to give. It's a very rare path. It's a very selective path, you know. If you have the fortune to live in Radhakund all your lives, then you must get this. It must descend to you. You cannot escape it. The shower of bhakti will come, 100%. But we have to know the nature of that devotion, the object of that devotion, how to fan the flame of that devotion, and Srimad Bhagavatam gives it systematically. Especially when we come through the first canto. This is like an introduction, basically, to all our family. This Bhagavatam is our family members. We hear about Vidura, we hear the Pandavas, etc. We hear Dhritarashtra, we hear all these personalities. Who else in the first canto? Panditji. Who else in the first canto? Sukadeva Goswami is referred to. Sutta Goswami, he's speaking to the sages. Parikshit, yes. All of these people are introduced to us in the first canto. But then the second canto, something really remarkable happens of devotion to substantiate his personal vision how can you have faith in hearing anybody until you've appreciated their genuine devotion? You're not seeing their example of devotion, because there's, what is it? Achar prachar. You have these two paths for the preacher. And if they're both not, if one of them is missing, there might be a speaker, but he doesn't know how to practice. He might practice, but he doesn't know how to speak. But actually the two have to be there for success in Krishna's service fully, isn't it? They have to be there. Practice what you preach. So that first canto is so sweet, and it's an introduction to our family members. It's our home, the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the umbilical cord. It's what Mahaprabhu has based all his teachings on. They're all centered on there. The Shikshastikam has all its... The Bhagavatam is within the Shikshastikam entirely. Entirely. And Rupa Goswami, all of his teachings, they're all around the Bhagavatam. Jiva Goswami in particular. So much within the Bhagavatam. So I want to just take the time. I'm not personally rushing to Gopi Gita. Last year I came here and I rushed. We just dived straight in to reading my Gurudev's commentary. But now I feel I don't want to rush so much. Now I think we just have more time. I want to make more time. We were saying many times that in this age of Kali, it's like time is crunched because we have these devices and it makes our minds fast with all these electronics and sounds. So the mind becomes unstable, and our time, we never think we have time for anything or anybody. It's always crunched. But Bhagavatam, as soon as we begin Bhagavatam, what happens? It's like you look at the sky and it just opens out. Isn't it? Bhagavatam has that effect directly. You know, I coach people to read this Bhagavatam. These are my good students here, all of them. And I never say anything to them because I have so much faith in the Bhagavatam. All they do, they read the Bhagavatam themselves. Then they present it to me once a week. Then they just tell me what they read. And I just listen, yes, 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 yes. Next person speak, yes, yes, yes. Because I know that the Bhagavatam is acting its magic in the heart of every single student, every single person who's reading the Bhagavatam. It has its own Shakti. So listen, I'm just going to read here. In the second canto, Sukadeva Goswami is inquired by Parikshit, what should a man do who's about to die? We are all about to die. Just because Parikshit had 7 days stamped on his head, yes, you're going to die in 7 days, but we are all in that same predicament. We are all going to die. Sooner or later. I'm hearing so many people death in the last few days, friends, etc. You know, I don't know whether other people have the same experience, but many of my friends are leaving their bodies. So death is a reality. We should take a deep breath and appreciate that. We can't avoid death. Krishna comes as death. Mrityu sarva harash. He comes as all-devouring death. Why should we be afraid? It's like getting a new car. You get a new body, a new opportunity to practice. But we shouldn't be morose about it or anything like that. We should be, of course we have loved ones that we're sorry to go, but at the same time, we know it's solid reality. So Sukadeva is making his introduction to Parikshit in the second canto. Second canto is extremely heavy canto. And in the fourth chapter, he expresses, I'm going to read just the verses for our consideration. A few of these verses from the prayers that Sukadeva Goswami, this is the first time he's speaking, remember? He's spoken 3 other chapters, but not directly expressing his own devotion. Because this is the topic that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has encouraged us to cultivate. This is the fifth Satyam Paramadhimahi. What is Bhakti? How can I meditate on Bhakti? Understand? How can I meditate on it? So, I'm just going to read. So, Shuta Goswami. So, Shuta Goswami, he's speaking to the sages. He's the spokesman. But nevertheless, he's repeating. When you go to Naimisharanya, most beautiful site near Lucknow, you see the Gomati. She's made her very curvy way because all the 88,000 sages, they wanted to put their ashram on the banks of the river so they could perform their yagyas, etc. So she twisted and turned. And then from that place in Naimisharanya, where Sutta Goswami was residing, he went to Sukratal, which is just beside Haridwar. I know on the train it's about 6 hours. So in those days, 5,000 years ago, or 3,000 years ago, walking, not so long. They were stronger in those days. They weren't so, the air wasn't so polluted. The food was probably stronger, not so contaminated. So Sukratal is where Parikshit listened truths that Sukadeva was speaking. And now he's going to repeat them throughout the Bhagavatam. This is the dynamic of the Bhagavatam. So Sutta Goswami said, when Sukadeva Goswami was thus requested by the king to describe the creative energy of the personality of Godhead, he then systematically remembered the master of the senses, Sri Krishna, and to reply properly, he spoke thus. So beautiful. To reply properly. He could only reply with devotion. Otherwise he's a fake. Isn't he? He's only going to respond with full devotion. So he starts. Sukadeva Goswami said, first of all, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who for the creation of the material world accepts the three modes of nature. So now he's going to systematically glorify that Supreme Lord, his activities. He creates this material world by the interaction of the three modes of material nature. I said that first in invocation verse, Janmadi Asya Yata Vidya, this first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is like a repeat practically of those same truths that Sukadeva is speaking now. Who for the creation of material accepts the three modes of nature. He is the complete whole, residing within the body of everyone, and his ways are inconceivable. Inconceivable. It's still too low, is it? So
It's not clear.
it's not clear.
May I close the window?
Yes, of course. Do whatever's necessary. This is text 13. I again offer. Are you taking a video of this? I again offer my respectful obeisances unto the form of complete existence and transcendence. Existence is one thing, transcendence is another. Sukadeva Goswami is saying like this directly. Who is the liberator of the pious devotees? He liberates those pious devotees from all distresses and the destroyer of the further advances in atheistic temperament of the non-devotee demons. So this is very encouraging. Sukadeva Goswami, it's just like, what is it, yada 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 same mood. That this is who is Krishna. He's substantiating his worshipable object. This is how we cultivate devotion, by expressing the qualities of that person that we want to be devoted to. If I want to be devoted to my husband, I will glorify him in so many ways. If I want to be devoted to my country, I will glorify that in so many ways, etc. We glorify the object I want. So he's glorifying Krishna. We haven't reached Brajendra Nandan, Shyam Sundar yet. we're earning the qualification through the Bhagavatam to be allowed to hear the Gopi. I promise you, by speaking in this way, substantiating the praman of the Bhagavatam, it will be very simple for us to access the Gopi Gita. If we have full reverential honor for this part of the Bhagavatam from the very beginning, then we just have to open a door very easily, not even pull it. It'll just swing open by itself. And you just walk straight into the kingdom of Braj very easily. But if we don't take these chapters, Mahaprabhu himself would go every day to listen to who? Gadadhar Pandit in Tota Gopinath garden, in the garden of Tota Gopinath. And he would hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. Gadadhar Pandit had 3 instructions he was given by Mahaprabhu. First, worship Tota Gopinath. And second, initiate those followers who want to take shelter of me. Mahaprabhu didn't initiate anyone. Gadadhar Pandit initiated them all. Lokanath Goswami or Garbhaks. Actually, Lokanath was probably one person that he didn't initiate, that Mahaprabhu did initiate rather. Garbhak and the others, all were initiated by Gadadhar Pandit. And what was the third request? To speak this Srimad Bhagavatam. And who was the first person he was speaking to? Was Mahaprabhu himself. Every single day. Mahaprabhu would go there and he would hear these beautiful verses of Venu Gita, Vinaya Gita, Gopi Gita. This, what is it? Yugal Gita, yes. But no, I was trying to think of the verses. This Bahar Pita Nata Varava Pur Kane Okane. All these beautiful verses from Venu Gita. Aksham Phalam Phalam Idam Sarat. This verse, I have to revise them. But these verses. But it's described that Mahaprabhu would love the Dhruva Charit. He would also love this Dhruva Charit, not only just about the gopis, but he would also relish Dhruva Charit, which is actually more about a Sakam Bhakta. Not a, he's not even in the category of the 5 that Sanatana Goswami gives us in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. There's 5. It's Prahlad is the first. For his Nishta, then it's Ambarish, then Hanuman, then the Pandavas, then Uddhava. These are the 5 personalities. But Dhruva doesn't even come into that category. But still, Mahaprabhu would relish this because it's Bhagavatam. And this Bhagavatam coming from the heart of Vyasadeva. What's that? Krishna Swadharma Pajite Dharmajanadi Visaha Kalona Sadrishantisha Purana Kaudinodita. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun. And it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna, later on above, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Men who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of this age shall get light from this Bhagavad Purana. They shall get light from it. How wonderful. We have no problem. We always have Bhagavatam alive. And we're going very quickly through the Bhagavatam because we're coming to Gopi Gita. So I'll just continue reading from the 2nd canto. Sukadeva's prayers. For the transcendentalists who are situated in the topmost spiritual perfection, he grants their specific destinations. Nothing is left out. For those people who are already versed in transcendence, then Krishna is going to bring them quickly to their heart's desire. So nothing is going to be left behind. Krishna is going to encourage through the Bhagavatam. And that will just open, especially in the 10th canto, of course. The 9 cantos are a preparation for the 10th canto. It's our qualification. And if we neglect those 9 cantos and think that they're inferior, it's like saying your legs are inferior to your body. Because, you know, the body has the heart and the mind, etc. Or it's like the chicken. You know, I just cut the chicken in half because the front half doesn't lay eggs. How do you say that analogy? Yes. How stupid. So how stupid is that person who neglects this aspect of Bhagavatam? So I'll continue. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto he who is the associate of the members of the Yadu dynasty. This brings in a very personal conception. He's not just a figure far away. He's come and he's integrated himself within the Yadu dynasty. He's talking to Parikshit Maharaj from Mathura. So he's not talking to the Brijvasis yet. That comes a little later, so we accept that he's making concessions, in Krishna's character. He's calling him a Yadu. Krishna is manifested in Mathura, but he takes birth in Vrindavan. So that manifestation is like an Aishwarya manifestation. It's not the sweetness of Yashodananda. That's a different appreciation. Who is always a problem for the non-devotees. So that Lord is always a problem for the non-devotees. He is the supreme enjoyer of both the material and spiritual worlds. Yet he enjoys his own abode in the spiritual sky. There is no one equal to him because his transcendental opulence is immeasurable. Bhakti Rakshakshila Maharaj said every single sound of the holy Dham is transcendental. So even music, even wedding music, actually we should understand is transcendental because it's coming from here. It's part of the environment. So nothing is to be condemned. So text, there are so many explanations we can say, but I'm just brief. There's 14 verses, Prabhu, of Sukadev's prayers, substantiating his devotion to Parikshit in this 4th chapter. 14 prayers, 14 verses. And our question is, what is this Satyam Paramadimahi? It's devotion. So here in this Bhagavatam, we're hearing the devotion of Sukadeva, who is going to speak the Bhagavatam. So this can be very encouraging for us to hear these prayers. How is he crafting? How is he making these prayers that he's offering? When we listen carefully to his prayers, we get a picture of that person that he's glorifying. And then that person is going to become alive to us also. Sukadeva is speaking an eternal truth. It's not something of historic 5,000 years ago. It cannot be. It's completely eternal. So this truth is touching the eternal particle of every jiva. That's why the jivas automatically take to the Bhagavatam. Because we are spirit soul, jiva, Krishnara, Nitya. That is my actual identity. So when transcendental sound vibration is coming from here, that's going to affect the transcendental particle in our hearts. That's going to enliven us. It must do. And if we examine the actual content of what then our intelligence will be satisfied also. Not just the heart feelings, but the intelligence also. Because the intelligence also has to be pacified. Because we're intelligent human beings. We need that for our shraddha to grow. The intelligence must be satisfied. If I have questions that are not being answered, then I'm going to wander away. It's still very quiet. I don't know what to do now. Even tomorrow I don't know what to do now. Because I charged this battery for a long time. But if you're recording it, then I'm reading now verse 15. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Sri Krishna, about whom glorification, remembrances, audience, that means having darshan, prayers, hearing, and worship can at once cleanse the effects of all sins of the performer. Who can say they're completely sinless? Who can say they have no sin? Every day we might tread on an ant, breathe in some microbes. We're all committing some type of sin, even unknowingly. Isn't it?
Mosquito.
Huh?
Mosquito.
Mosquito. Oh my God. Yes. So, just by remembering Krishna, then all of these sins, and what happens when the sins are cleansed? Boom, you're on a rocket. You're connected, no doubt. Shraddha is completely secure. When Shraddha is strong, Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Koi, Sudrita Nishchoy. This Shraddha is the beginning of our journey. It's even before Bhajana Kriya. It's before the practice. It's the very start towards the goal of praying, is Shraddha. And Shraddha is not a static commodity. Like love. It's not static. It must be ecstatic. It must be growing, evolving. Each day, we were just saying today, unless you have, I call them wows. When you think, wow, like that, wow. Sukadeva said like this, wow. This, like the heart lifts in astonishment. Like a child has so much astonishment. This chamatkar. We want that astonishment. Simplicity. Simple. Like a child. This achintya bhav. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, without achintya bhav, your bhakti cannot really flourish. This achintya. Achintya is wonderful. Oh, very good. Thank you. So this achintya bhav, look for it. Then be encouraged that your bhakti is moving. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all-auspicious Lord Krishna, the highly intellectual, simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved of all attachments to present and future existences, and without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. Let me read that again. Let me offer my respectful obeisances again and again unto the all-auspicious Lord Sri Krishna, the highly intellectual Divya Radhadasi, somewhere there, and certainly Upendraji. They have good intellect. Simply by surrendering unto his lotus feet, are relieved of all attachments to present and future existences. Future existences also. And without difficulty progress towards spiritual existence. So all the defects of time are overcome. Present and future, and in the extreme future of the spiritual. That's all cleansed. So he's explaining very philosophically his prayers. He's giving us a picture of the devotion of his heart. This is what Bhagavatam is about. We've actually expired our time, but I want to finish this part anyway. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-auspicious Lord Sri Krishna again and again, because the great learned sages, the great performers of charity, and the great workers of distinction, the great philosophers and mystics, the great chanters of Vedic hymns, and the great followers of Vedic principles cannot achieve any fruitful result without dedication of such great qualities to the service of the Lord. All of these historic personalities, if they're genuine, they cannot have any potency without that connection with the Lord. That Lord is the vital ingredient. Everything has to be coming from Him. And we, in our journey through life, are trying to connect with that power source. Okay? And then there's a list of these Kiryata, Huna, Andra, Pulinda, Pulaksha, Abhira, Shubra, Yavana, members of the Kasha races, and even others addicted to sinful activities can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord, due to His being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto Him. So in every instance, but there's 14 prayers here. I'm not going to read them all now because the time is a bit short. He's saying He is the super soul, within all souls. He's the authority of Lord Brahma and Shiva also. He's showing his supremacy in this regard. He's being revered with awe and veneration by these persons. And he's begging, may the Supreme Lord be pleased with me. May Lord Shri Krishna practice the glory of all kings and the Vrishnis, the goddesses of fortune. Beautiful prayers, you can look for yourself. It's all in chapter 4, starting from about verse 13, 14, and running through basically to the end of this chapter. So we can also study this. So I'm going to conclude now because we generally speak just for 1 hour. So this topic is lengthy. I said at the beginning I didn't want to rush into Gopi Gita. So I'm indulging my pleasure in hearing the Bhagavatam with you. Because just to hear this Bhagavatam is very pleasing to the ear and heart. And this hearing is going to bring us the qualification to enter Gopi Gita. So tomorrow we'll continue and we'll also examine the Chatushloki, because the Chatushloki comes in this second canto. And what is the nature of that? Krishna himself has come to speak to Lord Brahma about his own glories. So tomorrow we'll discuss something there, and then we'll just touch on the different topics of the Bhagavatam in order to purify ourselves to be qualified for the Gopi Gita. It's a very beautiful sequence. This is the best purification. What better purification can we have? And this is all sanctioned by Mahaprabhu, of course. Unless Mahaprabhu is fully glorified at the beginning, then nothing really is going to be auspicious. Mahaprabhu has to be there. So Sachinandan Gaurahari ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Gopi Gita ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, the Bodha Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Prema. We'll sing all little kid. Huh? Yeah, yeah. Just little kirtan. Just 3. No, Mridanga Walla. Where did Papa go? Mridanga. Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bo, 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 Jai Jai Radha Close the door.
Now it has come.
But